Uh, so we're now recording. And feel free to enter your questions into the chat box as I'm going through this presentation. And we're going to address all of your questions after the presentation. So, who are we? I'll just share a little bit about the company. So for 13 years, Run Wild Retreats has offered women-only trail running and wellness retreats around the world. Run Wild Retreats was founded by Eleanor Fish, who was the managing editor of Trail Runner magazine at the time, and she was inspired to create potentially transformational travel experiences around running. We won the award for Best Women-Only Running Tours from Runner's World magazine in 2020. The team is comprised of 7 women, and we operate in 11 different countries at this point. So my name is Hallie Stewart. I'm a retreat travel specialist here at Run Wild Retreats. It's my job to help you plan and prepare for your retreat from the time you begin to think about booking a retreat until the time that you depart for your retreat, and oftentimes beyond. And then we've got Lucy here on the call with us.
Hi, I'm Lucy Croft. Once Hallie passes the baton on to me, I'm your on-site retreat leader. So we take care of everything once you get on site, whichever retreat that may be, whether it's in the United States or internationally, you have one of us that guides you through every step along the way, through meals, through downtime, and especially on the trails to ensure safety and fun and mindfulness.
Great, thank you, Lucy. So I just want to give you a little bit more information about our mission here at Run Wild Retreats before we dive into the logistics. So because we view ourselves as much more than a running tour company, we really want you to have a deeper experience when you're on a retreat with us. We believe that running is so much more than just a good workout. It's also more than just a fun way to explore a beautiful country. Running mindfully can transform your stress, including the stress that you may not even be aware of. The stress that makes your joints achy, your mind fatigued before the end of the day. Our retreats are an exploration into the deeper layers of running, sinking into the endorphin high and resting in that flow state where it all just feels effortless. Our retreats provide the space to clear your mind, breathe deeply, connect with nature, and with what's in your heart. So I'll explain what that means first, and then we'll get into the practical stuff. So on our retreats, of course, each day centers around a fabulous running experience, but it's not just about the runs. Each retreat offers something different, such as meaningful experiences to learn about another culture and its history, its food, its environment. You'll enjoy wellness experiences like soaking in hot springs, treatments at world-class spas, healing sound baths, yoga classes, or immerse in local experiences, such as whale watching off the west coast of British Columbia, cooking class with professional chefs, touring historic castles and temples, and visiting wonders like giant waterfalls and black sand beaches, and so much more, really depending on which retreat you go on. But it's not just about seeing places and doing things. We've very intentionally designed our itineraries to be mindful and strike a balance between doing and being. After all, our mission is to support the whole woman, not just you as a runner. That means offering moments and specific practices that help you be mindful, be present, and have a potentially transformational experience. We want you to return home from your retreat feeling rejuvenated and inspired. And this comes from having an opportunity to truly relax and be yourself. One of the things that you can expect from a mindful travel experience is a judgment-free zone. On our retreats, you really don't have to worry about how you compare to other runners or feel the pressure to keep up with other people in the group. We truly encourage you to keep at your own pace and run in a way that feels playful and rewarding, and not worry about what other people think about you. Although you're going to be traveling with a group of women, this is really your retreat and it's your time that you can use to nourish yourself. So one of the ways that we implement mindfulness into our retreats is through our presence policy, which suggests that you run without your watch so you can feel what it's like to not worry about pace or time. We hear all the time from women on our retreats that they feel so free and present running without a watch. And after all, this is my favorite part. The most important measurement of success is how much joy you're experiencing on your run. So now that we've talked a little bit about our mission and the non-running aspect of our retreats, we'll jump into more about the running. So we'll explain the 3 running levels and what to expect at each of these retreats and what kind of fitness you should have for each different level retreat. But first, before we dive into that, I want to explain why we describe the runs in terms of time on trail versus miles. So while mileage data plays a valuable role in run training and monitoring your fitness progress, it's not so relevant in a retreat setting where our goal is to engage in the process of running. Describing the runs in terms of time on trail provides a more accurate representation of the journey that lies ahead. On our runs, we make frequent stops for water, snacks, and to engage in the mindful running workshops, which I'll explain those a little bit later. The time on trail also accounts for spontaneous activities like wading shoeless into the Mediterranean Sea, doing yoga poses, or taking a moment to sit and gaze at the phenomenal views that are in front of you. So first, we'll talk about our level 1 retreats. Level 1 retreats are recommended for you if you're just getting started or recovering from injury. We'll walk up to 6 miles a day and spend more time workshopping specific running posture and techniques to help you start running consistently while avoiding injury or burnout. There's no need to worry about being the slowest on these retreats. It's okay if you've never run trails before, though you can expect to feel challenged and rewarded for taking your running off the road with us. Your retreat leader will provide specific tips that will help you quickly adapt your running pace and stride to the trails. And those are our mindful running workshops, some of what we touch on in those. So a level 1 retreat, each day we spend between 30 minutes to 2.5 hours on trail. This goes for all of our retreats. We start with smaller runs and then we build our way up to a longer distance and then end on a smaller distance. So you should leave the retreat feeling well rested and not exhausted. So on our level 1 retreats, these run walks take place on trails with rocks, roots, and short uphills and downhills, though overall have minimal elevation change. So this means no big mountains on our level 1 retreats. We mostly avoid any exposure to heights or high altitudes. Next, we've got our level 2 retreats. On a level 2 retreat, the time on trail varies between 30 minutes to 3.5 hours, and the approximate daily distance is between 3 to 9 miles. So these runs on level 2 retreats are a bit more challenging, though the scenic rewards make them worth the effort. While the environments vary widely depending on the location, you can expect to be mostly on single track, narrow trails that may include some sustained uphills and downhills that can sometimes be steep. But walking is a part of trail running, so we usually hike the steep hills anyways. These trails may take us on loose, rocky terrain or through muddy sections along sea cliffs or other high exposed terrain. Though we do have some level 2 retreats, for those of you who are scared of heights, you might want to check with me. I can tell you which level 2 retreats don't have any heights. For instance, one of them I can think of right now is the Sonoran Desert Trail Running and Wellness Retreat. So level 2 retreat is recommended for runners who can run at least 8 miles on the road comfortably. You don't need to be fast, though you should have sufficient fitness for running consecutive days. We recommend these retreats for those who are okay with running on rooty or rocky terrain and who don't mind some exposure, such as narrow mountain trails or along sea cliffs. Again, check with me. I can tell you which ones don't have cliffs. And your safety is our number one concern, so it's never an unsafe cliff scenario. You also don't mind the occasional stream crossing in which your shoes may get wet on a level 2 retreat. So, and I just want to clarify, although we would like for you to be able to run 8 miles on the road comfortably, on our retreats, like I mentioned before, we take lots of breaks for snacks to enjoy the views. So you're never going to be running 8 miles straight. It's just a recommended fitness level so that you can enjoy your retreat to the maximum potential. And then finally, our level 3 retreats. On a level 3 retreat, the time on trail each day ranges between 30 minutes and 4 hours. The approximate daily distance is between 4 to 10 miles. The terrain on level 3 retreats will take you on world-class single track trails through mountainous terrain that will take your breath away, literally. These rewarding runs feature big, long climbs and descents on rocky and rooty trails. May involve crossing scree slopes and steep terrain that requires you be confident with your footing. You may encounter stream crossings and other obstacles as well as high altitudes above 7,000 feet. So a level 3 retreat is recommended for those of you with good fitness and some experience running on trails, preferably in mountainous terrain. You should feel comfortable with heights and have the fitness to run up to 10 miles on the road comfortably. So some of our retreats that fall under this category include our retreats in the Italian Dolomites, Nepal, and Montana. So next I'm going to talk a little bit about what makes your retreat mindful after I take a sip of water. On the retreat, you will be supported by your retreat leader. Among many other things, your retreat leader provides mindful running techniques on the trail to help you run more efficiently and relaxed, even on rocky trails. What you learn could transform your running forever and make running feel easier and increase your flow. I can personally attest to this. After I learned the mindful running techniques from Run Wild Retreats, I started to enjoy running more than I ever had before. It was a completely new experience after learning the mindful running techniques. So some things that we do to encourage a mindful experience is free time, wellness activities. You can add the transformational travel journal to your package, which is a really wonderful thing. If you have questions about that, reach out to me. And then we provide a travel with heart video. And this video helps you to start taking the steps to cultivate a mindset before you even arrive on the retreat. And hopefully this mindset will help you enjoy your experience even more. So who are these retreats for? One of the most common questions we get is, who else is going? Are they my age? Are they my running level? Can I come alone? One of the beautiful things about our retreats is the diversity of women who show up. Women from varying backgrounds all connect on one common thing, which is their love for running and experiencing the world. The average age of our retreat participants ranges between 35 and 65 years old, but many women who join are well into their 70s or in their early 30s too. We accept participants age 21 and older. Each retreat is screened to ensure our guests are booked on the right level of retreat, so you don't need to worry about the other runners being your level. Plus, with the support of your retreat leader and local running guides, which are a part of every retreat, we're able to accommodate a variety of pace groups. If you're planning on coming alone, you won't be the only one. In fact, the majority of our retreat participants come on their own, and while many travel companies require single travelers to pay a supplemental fee when there's an odd number of travelers in a group, we do not. We absorb this cost so that you don't have to pay more simply because you're traveling solo. You can choose to book a shared room retreat package, in which case we'll match you with a roommate, whether this be your friend who you're traveling with or another person who is also traveling solo and opted for a shared room. All shared rooms have separate beds for each person, of course. On many of our trips, we offer private single room options as well. So while it does cost more to have a private room, you may select this option to be sure that you have a room for yourself throughout the entire retreat. And finally, I'm going to walk through our retreat collections. So you can opt to pick your path, find the right retreat for you based off of some of the things I'm about to describe. So we offer 3 different retreat collections. We've got our signature experience, mindful movement, and wild woman retreat collections. So first, I'll touch on the signature experience, where you'll find our classic and award-winning signature retreats. Since 2010, our mindful running retreats have been continuously improved, earning us prestigious travel awards from Runner's World magazine for best women-only running trips and Shape magazine for best active outfitter. Our collection of signature experiences includes retreats in some of our favorite places, such as the Rocky Mountains of Telluride, which we've got 1 spot on that retreat left, and I have a special code to save $300. So send me an email if you're interested in that retreat coming up in September. The Costa Brava region of Spain is another place that falls under this category. The Wicklow Mountains of Ireland, and the deserts of Moab, Utah, and Tucson, Arizona. These tried and true itineraries deliver outstanding trail running experiences that are suitable for runners who've never run trails before, but are open to trying something new like mindful running to experience how this powerful practice can help them not only run better, but live a more mindful life too. Next, we've got our mindful movement collection. Our mindful movement retreats are slow tempo and distinct cultural wellness and running retreats. On our mindful movement retreats, you'll find a combination of running and destination-specific activities. This collection is ideal for those of you who love to run, but would also like to enjoy diverse activities while on vacation. These retreats offer unique experiences that connect you to the environment, culture, and heritage of the place that you're visiting. Our Mindful Movement collection offers retreats in places like Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Northern Vietnam, Costa Rica, Bhutan, and the Sacred Valley of Peru, just to name a few of them. I'll just give you a quick example. For instance, on the Vancouver Island Trail Running and Wellness Retreat, you can enjoy low mileage runs in our favorite old growth rainforests of British Columbia's Claycut Sound, learn about Indigenous people of the area, and observe wildlife on a whale watching tour. Or if you come to Peru, you'll connect with the ancient wisdom of the Incas in Peru, visiting archaeological sites, Andean communities, and be part of an Andean weaving ceremony. And last but not least, we've got our Wild Women Retreat collection. In this collection, you'll find our multi-sport or more challenging running retreats. These retreats are ideal for avid runners seeking breathtaking experiences because of the views and the altitude. These retreats offer stunning scenery and challenging, more technical runs in high altitude locations like Nepal, Montana, or the Dolomites. And then sometimes in this collection, you might also find retreats with unique activities that are on the more adventurous side. So in short, these retreats combine running with new adventures as well. So thank you for listening, and please let us know if you have any questions. Drop them in the chat below, and we'll start going through. We got a couple of questions. Let's see, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here so that I can see all of you. I'm going to go through some of the questions that came in before the webinar. And then if you guys have any questions as we're going through these first few, please drop them in the chat and we'll get to them. So I'll start with this first question. Are there options to maybe run slightly shorter or longer days during a retreat? Lucy, do you mind answering this question?
Yeah, I'm happy to, Hallie. Hello, everyone from sunny Florida, sunny hot Florida. It's 100 degrees here today. But it's absolutely beautiful. And so is this incredible screen of women. Thank you so much for our interest. So the question was, are we able to shorten the runs on the retreat day? Yes, absolutely. The retreats are all about you, and you decide how far you want to run. You may even decide that day when you wake up, you just want some time to yourself and time to just slow down a little bit or rest or whatever that may be for you. And you might not want to go on trail. So you decide on what you would like to do. The most important thing is when you are out on trail, you work with myself as the retreat leader, and we have local guides as well. And we're in communication with one another, and we will let you know in advance. We'll give you an opportunity to set your pace. We'll give you an opportunity to understand the terrain. We give you a trail briefing, so you know all of that in advance. And then we'll also tell you if there's a turnoff point. So let's say we're running and we're out there for about 35 to 40 minutes and we're at a point where we can turn around. We'll make some decisions at that time and let you all know if you're all wanting a break or if you want to turn around. You will work with us, and then you can turn around and go back with one of the guides. Make sure that you get back safely and you know the terrain. So we are always in constant communication with you all to make that determination. And then we'll also let you know if we're at a turnaround point and you decide to go with us. We'll also let you know that once you make that decision, there is no turnaround point. So again, the key to this is communication, and we as retreat leaders and as the local guides will communicate to you at that point. So at any time you need a break, you just let us know. And like Hallie said earlier, we're always taking breaks to do mindful practice, to enjoy the beautiful scenery, to have some conversation, and just to breathe. So yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lucy. And then Melissa just asked a question. Can you switch levels once you've registered if you find that the runs are too long or short? So each retreat is a different level. If you join us in the Sonoran Desert, that's a level 2 retreat. In Moab, we have different dates for that accommodate a level 1 retreat or a level 2 retreat. So once you pick a retreat, the level of that retreat is built into that itinerary. If you, for instance, have maybe signed up for a level 2 retreat and you think, oh gosh, I should have signed up for a level 1 retreat before the retreat, as long as we're before the cancellation deadline of that specific retreat, you can transfer your retreat for, there is a $200 transfer fee associated with switching the retreat that you choose. But once you're on the retreat, there's no switching levels because the runs have been picked for that retreat, and everybody who signed up for that retreat signed up knowing which level it was. But just like Lucy mentioned, no matter the retreat, there's usually an option to shorten the runs, lengthen the runs, or opt out of the runs completely on a day if you're just not feeling up to it. So there's a little bit of flexibility, but you definitely want to look at the retreat level before you book your retreat. Somebody else was curious about the cost for single travelers. So we touched on this a little bit. It doesn't cost extra for you to travel solo, but you can opt for a shared room package or a private room package. Cost of the different packages, it all depends on the unique retreat. So I recommend heading over to the retreat, to our website, finding the retreat that you're interested in, and then there's a little tab at the top of each retreat page. It's the My Booking tab, and you'll see the different retreat packages that are available, the pricing, and a list of all that's included with that package. So usually on our retreats, it's all of your hotels, most, if not all, meals, all transportation, stuff like that. So it's all retreat specific. If you're interested in a certain retreat, go over to that retreats page or email me, and I'm happy to touch on that. Somebody asked, what if a participant is at a slower pace than the rest of the group? Great question. We have 2 or 3 local guides on trail in addition to your retreat leader. So we've got lots of staff on trail. And maybe Lucy, if you want to touch on this question too, I think you've got a lot of experience to answer this.
Yeah. So we focus on pacing on when we're on trail, and pacing means that we sometimes the tempo will be a little faster, sometimes the tempo will be a little slower. Again, we use our mindful practice of breathing to gauge where we are with our pace. And so we absolutely, from the front of the pack to the back of the pack, we are all running collectively and mindfully. And so it doesn't make any difference if you're in the back or in the middle or in the front. You run at your pace, you run at your tempo. There will always be a leader in the front, and there will always be a leader in the back, and guides and leaders running in between the group. So regardless of where you are, you're going to feel supported and encouraged and motivated, and most importantly, safe when you're on trail because of our leadership and our guiding. So you don't have to worry about being slow, fast, medium. Just go out there and have fun and enjoy the moment. That's what you focus on.
Yep, absolutely. Awesome. Thanks, Lucy. Somebody else asked, how do you recommend training for one of your trips? So I touched a little bit on the recommended fitness level. If you are, for instance, have your eye on a level 2 retreat and maybe you're not quite comfortable running 8 miles on the road, what we tend to recommend is that you just lengthen one run per week, building up to the retreat. So it's not a rigorous training program for you to embark on before your retreat. We run at a casual, social, leisurely pace, as we've mentioned, but if you are looking to build up your mileage, we generally recommend increasing the length of one of your runs per week. And Lucy, you might have something to say about this too.
Yeah, thanks, Hallie. When we got that question, one of the things that instantly popped into my mind, I was a road runner for several years and had very limited trail running experience. And knowing that I was going to be running on trails much more often, I sometimes don't have access to the route bound trails or the hilly rocky trails, but I do have access to the beach. And so just switching the terrain in which my feet hit really does help me with my balance and my stability and my confidence level on running on various terrains. So if you have that opportunity, I would say just be mindful of switching terrain and walk, run, and pace yourselves as you do that. And I think that will help as well. I know I really enjoy running on different terrains, and it really is stabilizing and actually quite invigorating when you switch it up a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, and if you don't have experience running on trails before, it's really our level 3 retreats that we recommend some experience. And depending on your fitness levels, it's not even, totally necessary that you have experience running on trails. People come from all over for our retreats from sea level to the mountains. So we always accommodate for that altitude change. Let's see. So what activities other than running happen during the signature type retreats? Great question. So it varies, but for instance, in Telluride, Telluride's just such a cute mountain town in Colorado. I'm here in Colorado and it's one of the best places to visit. But in Telluride, you can go to a world-class spa for a massage. In Ireland, you're going to be going on castle tours, going to traditional pubs, really having a cultural experience there too. Going to some of the famous places like the Cliffs of Moher. And when we do visit those places that are super famous, we do it in a way to avoid crowds and stuff as much as we can. In Moab, we've got fine dining experiences, a farm to table dinner, yoga happens in Moab. And in the Sonoran Desert, there's spa experiences on that one. The Mediterranean Mindful Running Retreat happens in Spain, and you will be running through the cobblestone streets, sometimes along the Costa Brava. So you'll be running on a trail that follows the Mediterranean Sea. There's lots of history in Spain and food culture. So that's all a part of the experience. We have great partners there in Spain. So yeah, that's an example of some of the other experiences that we offer for our signature retreats. Melissa's a road runner and doesn't have much access to get on trails. Yeah, that's okay, Melissa. So sorry, let me rephrase that question better than I just articulated it. It sounds like Melissa is a road runner but doesn't have much access to trails to practice. That's totally fine. Our mindful running clinics are aimed towards helping you navigate the trails with ease. So as long as your fitness is up to the recommended level, that's all you need. Our retreat leaders, Lucy, will help you to learn techniques that will help you navigate the trails. That's what we do here. So no previous trail running experience is necessary. Anything to add to that, Lucy, that we haven't already touched on?
Yeah, I would just say, especially at a level 1 and some of the level 2s, again, to Hallie's point, you don't have to have trail running experience. We will educate you and give you some techniques to feel confident on trail. The pace is at a point where you will feel comfortable running the trails. I was not a trail runner until I discovered the love of getting out on different terrain, and then picked up the techniques, and I actually learned them through Run Wild Retreat, and then got hired by Run Wild Retreat. And so we will get you there. And I highly encourage you all level 1, level 2, where you feel comfortable and trust in the process and trust the local guides and us as retreat leaders that will carry you through and give you some really good instruction. And then you'll just have fun.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah. And Melissa, I see your second comment here, that you're a marathon runner and you're okay with the distance, but you're just worried about the trails. Level 2 retreat is perfect for you.
That was me.
Fitness. Yeah, that was Lucy. You've got the fitness, and we've got the retreat leaders to help you learn how to trail run. So you're all good there. Are there training plans that are recommended for various retreats? So what we offer is just the recommended level of fitness for road running. Like I said, if you'd like to increase your mileage, we recommend increasing your mileage of 1 run per week. We don't have any training plans, Run Wild Retreats training plans. if you wanted to get a trainer, you could, but it's really not necessary. Just as long as you feel comfortable running on the road, the certain distances. And if this is a specific situation, feel free to reach out to me. We've got our retreat leaders and our retreat travel specialists who can maybe recommend something a little bit more specific to you. So I did leave my information in the chat here, and I'll leave it again at the end, but you can reach me at info@runwildretreats.com or give me a call. And anything that might be more specific to you, if you have any questions that you don't want to ask here, feel free to reach out to me and I will answer your question as best I can, or reach out to our many resources within the company to get your question answered. Are the wellness activities and excursions included in the retreat cost? Good question. So yes, all of the excursions are included. Sometimes it's retreat specific. So sometimes the spa experience will be an add-on price. You'll see that as you're signing up in the My Booking section of the retreat. So if there's the option, if a spa experience is not included on a particular retreat, you'll see the option to add that to your retreat package, and you'll see the price there too. So anytime we have yoga or we've got sound baths on some retreats, meditation on some retreats, that's all included. It's generally just the massages that are sometimes not included, but can be added. Any other questions? I'll head back to these ones that we got beforehand, see if we haven't answered any of them. Someone was just curious about Moab. In general, Moab's our flagship retreat. It's the very first one that we launched, and it's been going strong ever since. I went to Moab last year with Run Wild Retreats, and I had been to Moab a handful of times before, and I had the most incredible time. Moab's wonderful. But if the person who asked this question is on the call, feel free to send me an email. I can answer any specific questions that you have about Moab. And then someone said, I tend to plan my schedules well in advance. When will US trips for the fall 2024 season start being announced? They have already started to be announced. So head over to our website, click that button that says all retreats, and there you'll see all of our retreats listed in chronological order. We've got our US retreats in the fall. We've got an Ireland retreat ready to go for the fall. So, and we'll be releasing more as time goes on, but we do have quite a few available now for those of you who like to plan ahead. And then for those of you who are maybe a little bit more last minute planners, we've got some space remaining on a couple of upcoming retreats that I wanted to mention. So we're heading to Ireland here in September 11th through the 17th. We've got 3 spots left on that retreat. We're headed to Vancouver Island. That's a level 1 retreat. Ireland's level 2. Vancouver Island is level 1. We've got spots on that retreat taking place October 10th through 16th. A level 3 retreat coming up this fall that we've got spots on is the Nepal Trail Running and Wellness Retreat with Mira Rai. Super special experience. Mira Rai is going to be our local guide. She's also the National Geographic Adventurer of the Year and just has a really profound story about how trail running has transformed her life. So feel free to check out that retreat. And then we've got space, just one last spot on the Telluride Trail Running and Wellness Retreat coming up this fall on September 7th through the 10th. And like I mentioned before, I've got a special code to save you $300 off of that retreat in particular, because we just have that one last spot. It's a shared room spot left. So email me if you're curious about that. And I'm gonna just drop my information in the chat here one more time. If you guys have any other questions, ask them now, or feel free to give me a call. email me. I'm available in the office here along with our other retreat travel specialists Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Laundry facilities for clothing. Really good question, Melissa. This is one of our most common questions. It's retreat specific. For instance, in Moab, there's laundry facilities at the hotel. Oftentimes, there's going to be at least one of your hotels that has laundry. So just reach out and I will let you know about the specific retreat you're looking into about laundry facilities. That's definitely something people are concerned about, especially on the longer international retreats. So reach out to me and I'll let you know about any specific retreats with that question. Any other last questions? Thank you guys all for showing up. We really appreciate your presence and we sure hope to enjoy a retreat with you in the future.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope to see you on trail soon, you all. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.